everybody, so I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm going to be talking to you like straight to the camera, which is weird because the last few videos I've kind of done a bit more like stylized things when I'm carrying the camera, and it's kind of fun to actually just be sat talking to you guys. So today I'm going to talk about how to pass the time with your toddler and 25 things that you can do when you have no idea what to do and you're really bored. And if any of you watching are stay-at-home mummies, or you are spending time with a toddler in any kind of way, you'll know that it can get kind of boring as well as really frustrating. And so sometimes you just need some fresh ideas just to kind of get out of a bit of a rut of like doing the same thing with them all the time and them getting really annoyed with that, and also just to keep helping them learn. My son is like 26 months old now, so like nearly 2.5, and he is always wanting to learn something new, but at the same time he really likes routine. I kind of need to like break him out of his routine and do different things, but at the same time he finds that really tiring, so we kind of like have to work out how to do it in a way that means it's not too much for him and it doesn't ruin the rest of the day. So I've written a blog post with all of these ideas in, and I hope that can be a really helpful resource to you guys. You can easily just go there. I'll make sure the link is down below, and you can just print it out, and hopefully just, if you get stuck, you can just look at it and go, ah, that's what I can do. If you don't have a printer, just get a pen and you can just start writing these down. The first sort of section of the list is the more obvious things that I think people would do. It's probably like the more weekend things. It's probably the things that we do a couple of times a week. Like, not very often, because they're like more intense activities. So the first one is going to the park. That's too obvious. I don't need to go into that with you guys, but we love going to the park, and I love it because he can go and play. It's really like helping him grow in a physical way because he can really challenge himself and do different things. There's no park for us, which is like literally on our doorstep. We have to either catch a bus to a really good, great big one, or we have to kind of walk like, I don't know, 20 minutes down the road, which actually isn't too bad. But it is more of like a morning or afternoon activity. It takes up more of the day because it exhausts him so much because he loves it and he just uses all of his energy there. The second one is soft play, which actually we just went to for the first time last week. I don't know why I've been putting it off, other than it's actually a little bit far from us. It was £4 for the entry for the both of us, and we could play as long as we wanted. It included a free activity, a free biscuit and a free drink, and he absolutely loved it, and so did I. I had like proper belly laughs because I was like going down this like twirly whirly slide. I hit my head because I'm so tall, and that was kind of funny, and I went down all of the different slides, and so did he, and it was again really amazing to see himself challenge himself like that physically. And he slept for 4 hours after doing that activity, so we will be doing that again because for him to sleep that long is really amazing. The next one is playgroup, which is again a super obvious one, but actually we don't really go to a playgroup, in all honesty. When we moved back to England, I kind of thought we'd move house a lot quicker than we have, so I thought, well, there's no point in joining a playgroup because we'll be moving soon. And it's now like 7 months later and I'm still not in a playgroup. So I think I'll probably still try and find one if there's one that goes over the summer. I guess there probably will be, because it's probably still going to be like a while till we actually move. The fourth one is coffee and lunch dates, and this is a kind of odd one because I feel like kids often tag along on coffee and lunch dates with parents, and a lot of parents don't like to go on coffee and lunch dates because it's too stressful, and I fully understand that. And I actually think the best way of doing that is to carve out just time where you take them to the same coffee shop and the same cafe, so they get used to a particular space. So we've got a particular coffee shop we go to and a particular cafe, and he has similar things every time we go, and we can just kind of get him used to the environment and what to do, how to interact with it, like when he should be sitting, and give him like things to draw. The fifth one is food shopping. There are certain things in life that you just have to do, and shopping for food is one of them, so why not make it fun? Food shopping is a great time and place for them to learn colours, for them to learn new words, for you to help them understand patience, and you can give them things to hold, you can explain the food you're going to cook. And again, I probably try and do more smaller shops because to do a big shop can be quite a challenge. always make sure they're fed, like absolutely always make sure they're fed before you go, otherwise you're just going to have them screaming the whole way around. Lately it's actually been so much of a challenge to take him food shopping. He previously really liked it, but the last couple of months all he wants to do is escape the cart, and it's just like really irritating because you're just having to constantly say like sit down, sit down, sit down. But again, I feel like he's in a safe environment. It's a really good time for him to learn the importance of sitting down when mummy asks him to, and instead of like not doing it because I don't want to kind of have to go through the difficulties, I go through them because it's a really important lesson to learn. The next one is a city walk or a nature walk, and I know most people would sort of like more popularly say like, oh, take them on a nature walk, but actually I think there's some great benefits to taking them on a city walk because there's so many different things that you'll see. Wherever you go on a walk, if you actually take some time to explain to a child all the different things they're going to see, they learn so much and they really love it, whether they're actually walking physically or they're just sat in a pushchair. Sometimes actually that's really our only activity of the day, is going on a walk down to the local shop. It's like a 15-minute walk, but he absolutely loves it if he gets to walk by himself. He takes a little backpack, he puts his little cap on, and he'll go and he'll see all the flowers, he'll point at all the cars. We go past this lovely house that's got so many flowers outside of it and he'll always point at those. One time we even had like chat with the guy who like grows all the flowers, and just it's really nice way of also getting to know like your neighbours if you're doing a local walk. And I just love going on a walk with him. It's one of the simplest and bestest things that we ever do. The other kind of outing that we do is he goes swimming once a week, and that's a really new thing for us, but he's enjoying it so far. And it's really great for me because my mum takes him, so I get an hour's break, and that's just amazing because I actually don't really get much other break in the week, and so it's really important thing for a stay-at-home mum to even have like a teeny tiny section of time to myself, even though to be honest I spent most of it like just cleaning the last couple of weeks. He can't really do much yet in the water, but he really just enjoys being in the water, being around the other kids and doing kind of like more of a routine kind of class. So it's sort of 30 minutes and he has to do certain actions. That's not something that he really gets anywhere else actually. A little bonus thing at the end here is just that actually outing wise, in your city, town, village, wherever you live, there are probably things that are set up for kids. So like things at the library, I know you can go to like reading classes, just like so many different classes and opportunities that you have for doing outings in the week. These are just the ones that we do, but there are so many to choose from. So get in contact with some local mummies or just see what there is out there. Just like type it into Google and then work out what there is to do that you would really enjoy doing with your child. The next set of things are things that I can leave him to do by himself for 5 to 30 minutes in the house. And these are like gold dust things for stay-at-home mums because it actually gives you a chance to get the stuff done in the house that you need to, which when you're spending a lot of time in the house, there's always stuff that you need to do. First one is super obvious, and that is just to play with his toys. He's got a number of toys. I've done a whole video just explaining some of our favourite toys. I'll make sure that's linked up here and you can go and check that out, see what toys he plays with. Actually, we haven't really changed those toys. He hasn't got that many new ones because those are kind of great open-ended play toys and they should last for like quite a long time into his childhood. Obviously his favourite toy at the minute is his Brio train set. He loves it, and honestly I can leave him for so long playing with his train set. That's probably the time I get most bored, is when he sat playing his train set and I'm sat there kind of with him in the same space so he doesn't leave it, and he plays like really well with it. But I just sat there, I got nothing much else to do, and he'll literally just move the train or watch the train going round the track a lot and then kind of add different trains, amend the track. The next one could be a little bit controversial, but it's watching television and movies, and it's a really obvious one, but I want to talk a little bit about it because I think there are different ways that you can do it. You don't just have to like stick on kids TV, which we do, and I love CBeebies. I think it's actually got some really great programs in there for him. But he also loves to watch some YouTube videos. He loves to watch trains, like trains for kids on YouTube. And if you honestly type in a lot of things and then add 4 kids on the end of YouTube, you get such great stuff. So we've been watching like Airport Diary, which is great. And he loves watching this one particular guy wash his helicopter. He loves it. And Like you can watch different kinds of dogs and sea animals and like learn lots of different like factual documentary things, and he really loves that. It's really interesting for him and he's just learning so much from it. So I'm really thankful for a television that I can just like really easily watch YouTube on. The other thing is movies, and actually my mum has always said that movies are a great way to relax as a child and an adult. It's a great lesson in patience and concentration. It also is great to see him learn to follow through a story, interact with songs. A couple of his favourite things right now are Cars, Paddington and Ponyo. And I know lots of people won't have seen this, so this is what Ponyo looks like. It is amazing. It's a Japanese anime. It's kind of about a fish, but it's a fish with a difference, and it's got classical music in. It's really relaxing to watch or have on in the background, and I just love Ponyo as well. I could watch Cars, Paddington and Ponyo all the time. I love them. The next one is playing in the garden, which usually means riding his bike, but sometimes just means pushing his bike up and down. He's got a little car as well, and actually various different types of cars, and he'll go and he'll do that in the garden for ages and ages, and I'm always watching him, but often because our kitchen is right next to our garden, I can be washing the dishes and watch him at the same time, or putting laundry out or something like that, and he really loves playing in the garden. If he gets to be able to play with the hose as well, he's a very happy chappy, but he doesn't get to play with the hose very often because there's usually washing out on the line and the two just don't mesh. The fourth one in this list is listening to music. He could literally have my headphones in for about 15 minutes and he would listen to the same song 5 times. He loves it, and he really loves AC/DC, Thunderstruck at the minute, and he often comes up and he just wants to lie on my bed and just chill out, and just when he needs like 10 minutes to relax, that's his like best relaxing. It's so cute. A fifth one that's really great if I'm actually cooking is him playing with stuff in the kitchen sink, often pouring one thing into another, and it's sort of whatever I have that needs to be washed up, actually, to be honest, that's in the washing up bowl is usually what he's playing with. I don't really kind of get any particular things out. If there's nothing in there, I'll just get him some plastic cups or plastic bowls or both, and some various different like cute utensils he's not really played with before, and he really loves that. He can probably do that for about 30 whole minutes. The last thing is threading beads, and he probably gets about 5 or 10 minutes activity out of just putting beads onto a string. And this is a Melissa and Doug set that we have. It's got different coloured beads and different coloured strings, and you just kind of thread them on, and that's kind of the whole game. He's probably pushing past that now. He's probably getting a little bit too old for it, and I've got a few different like matching game sets. He's probably more moving into the matching game stuff, but he still really likes the threading games if he wants to just relax. Now the last set of stuff is probably the more interesting things, but it's the things that you will want to do with your child because it requires some supervision and or a second person. The first one is reading. He really mostly likes to be read to, have someone turn the pages for him, although again he can turn the pages, but he just likes to do that with someone else, whether that's me or daddy or just whoever's in the house, to be honest. I've done a whole video about all of his favourite books, so go check that out if you haven't already, because hopefully there's some new ones in there for you guys. Obviously we read like before he goes to sleep, either his nap or bedtime, but it's really nice again to have like a chill out part of like the middle of the morning or the middle of the afternoon where you just come upstairs and you just sit in your like little reading corner and read a few books. It's really relaxing. The next thing is not relaxing at all, but it is really fun, and that is sidewalk chalk, which is this lovely thing here, which I think you can get various different types. This is just the set that we have. I'll make sure everything is linked down below if you want to go check it out. Basically, it's just giant chalk, and we've got outside like a paved surface. To be honest, this also goes onto wood, walls, all sorts, and it washes off. So it's brilliant. He can just go nuts everywhere, and actually one of his favourite things is to then clean it all off with the hose. So it's great. He can just do that again on repeat. So he'll like draw, wash it off, draw somewhere else, wash that off, and he loves it. The next thing is finger painting, and we have literally done this one time because I've lost the finger paints. I don't know where I've put them, and I've had to put in another order for them and they haven't arrived yet. But it was so much fun, and literally we just got a few different bowls and different like various different pots, whatever I could find, put some paint in there, and bless him, instead of knowing that he could use his fingers for the paint, he went and found my pastry brush, because it was a brush, and found that in the drawer and came straight out with it to use. So bless him, that pastry brush has now become an actual brush. I'll have to buy another pastry brush. We used his giant A2 book, and this is basically like his art book. He's used it ever since he was tiny, and we just put everything in here. It was like the most fun to do finger painting because it was a new activity. It's really fun to do art together, and just you can do crazy things. So like we covered his hand in the paint and put that on, and then just did different colours in different places. It was really, really fun. I have like no rules when it comes to painting, you just have fun. I don't think we did it for very long, to be honest. I think the whole like setup of it took longer than the actual doing of it. But I think with any kind of artwork or any of these activities, a lot of the doing of it is investing in your child's future, because they'll be doing these activities in years to come, and if they've already started at a young age, it will make it so much more pleasurable for them as they go on, because they'll have a bit more of a clue about what to do, and the more often you do something, the easier it's going to be for them. The next thing is using Procreate Pocket on your iPhone or Procreate on an iPad. This is another recent discovery of ours, and it's amazing because we both really love it actually. So I bought this, which is the Wacom bamboo stylus, and it works on an iPhone, and you can do so many fun things with this on Procreate Pocket, and I just feel like you could spend so much time on there, and we have done. So it's a really nice activity to do because they have to sit in your lap, and you can just sit and like show them all the different brushes, all the different colours, and you pick a brush, pick a colour, then you can draw, and you can change the size of it on the side, and you can create some really like amazing looking things. And there's so many different options for brushes, and you can do different textures, and I just think again it's really great teaching colours, it's great teaching textures, it's great to show them different art techniques in a kind of different way, obviously because it's on the phone, so it's not really art. And the great thing is you don't make a mess. So one of the things we do a lot of is we get this book out and we go crazy with pencils and crayons and stickers. And we have a drawer downstairs which is literally just full of stickers and pencils and crayons, and he knows where it is, and if he would like to do drawing, he gets it out, and he gets out this giant book as well. And this is the sort of thing we create. It's not amazing artwork, but it is creative and fun. One of the other things we've literally like 2 days ago discovered are these, which are Faber-Castell gelatos, and this is the mix and match set which comes with a brush, and actually it's $9.99 on Amazon. I was well impressed with that because I think there are much more expensive sets, but it's got some really lovely colours. The darker ones are like more pigmented, they're really nice, but the idea of these is you can use them in multiple different ways, and one of them is literally to use them a bit like watercolours, but we just drew on the page with them, any kind of page, and then dipped the brush in water and then just moved the colour around the page. And I'm going to try and find in here the page for you guys so I can show you, because it was so pretty what we created in the end. Aha! Look at that! It was the most fun thing to do together because he really had to go through so many different steps and learn it and be patient, but he also spent about 45 minutes doing it, I think, in the end. The next one is dancing, and that is going to be just so cliche, but if you need like them to get rid of energy that they've got, or they've been sat down for a couple of hours and you just need them to move around, put on their favourite song on your phone, on a speaker, whatever you have, put it up as loud as you can and just have a good old boogie. And you as a parent need to properly like get boogieing as well, because you need to show them how to do it, but also, I mean, they know instinctively, but you need to like go crazy because it really helps them to get rid of their energy too. Plus it's fun and helps you get rid of some energy. I mean, you're not as bored. The next one is watering plants and weeding, and both of those need absolute supervision because otherwise our neighbours get wet. Other thing is I might get absolutely soaked, which has fully happened once. Watering plants is a really great thing for them to learn because again it's something that we have to do every day in the summer here, and so it was really, really important thing for them to know how to do. Weeding he really, really likes, but he really needs to know which plants he's got to pull up, and that requires him to really be shown which ones he can and can't pull up. Watering plants and weeding is something I want to be able to do with my son as he grows, because I could really do with the help, but also it's really important for him to learn about plants, to learn about where food comes from, to just experience nature in that kind of nurturing way. And I spend a lot of time outside, so it's really helpful for him to know some things that he can do. The next one is gluing and sticking, which is very basic, but just you need some PVA glue, some spreaders, some paper, and maybe some other kind of paper or fabric or something you want to stick on it. To be honest, you can stick whatever you like on there, it doesn't really matter, just use like an old magazine or something like that. And it's really, for him, it's really all about the spreading of the glue at the minute. He really is enjoying just like spreading glue everywhere. He's really quite good at keeping it on the page. He hasn't quite worked out about like the sticking everything on top thing. So, but it's fun, and again, it's something he's going to be doing all the way through primary school, so it's an important thing for him to learn even at this age. The next one is cooking and cutting, and this has been our best friend really for him, helping me in the kitchen. It's a crinkle cutter. It's a really, really basic one. I'll link it down below, but it means that he can stand on his little step next to me in the kitchen whilst I'm doing something else, and he can cut something like bananas or cucumbers or just anything he can cut that's kind of a little bit soft. Bananas is great because he can eat it as well after he's cut it, and if he's like a little bit peckish, then that's like perfect. He's really into stirring things as well, so if I'm making some batter, his favourite thing to do, especially if I'm making like pancakes or waffles, is to get involved. He likes to help with getting things out, and he loves to stir the mixture, but obviously he needs a little bit of help because otherwise all the flour would fly everywhere at the minute because he's not quite got the action. But it's a really great thing again for him to learn how to do, because I love making pancakes and waffles, and if he can help me, then that's great. The next thing to talk about is screwdrivers, actually, and my husband has a really significant screwdriver set, and my son really loves getting out and working out which screwdriver fits in which screw around the house. A lot of those are like his little Brio trains, the battery operated ones. Every time they break, or like run out of battery, which is about every other day, to be honest, he goes and gets a screwdriver set, brings it in, takes a screwdriver out and gives it to mummy, because he can't quite do the whole screwdriver like unscrewing thing. But the screwdrivers have offered an endless source of fascination for him. It's probably about a good 10 minutes worth of distraction, I'd say. It's not like a long activity, but screwdrivers are fun. Puzzles is the next one, and we've got a couple of like wooden peg holder puzzles that he is actually really great at doing. We've got like the Melissa and Doug vehicles one, which is really great, and he can actually do that. It was so impressive the first time he did it. I was like, had a proper mummy moment where I was like super proud of him. Just then he can like learn all the different vehicles, so it would be the same if he had an animal one or shapes one, then you can like teach them all different things whilst doing something else. The last one on this list is flashcards, and this is a really funny one because I kind of thought flashcards had a different use than I think they seem to have for my son, but he really enjoys getting these out himself and kind of going through them. He wants me to hold the cards, but he's always like looking for the chicken card, but he'll like say all the other cards as we're going through them. He'll probably do this for about 5 or 10 minutes before he just gets bored and wants to do something else. But he actually really likes doing it so much that he actually wants to get it out. I thought that with flashcards I'd have to like set aside like a time of day where I'd have to take them out and do it with him. And actually he was just really intrigued by them. These are really cute. They're really big, so they're easy for him to handle, and the pictures are really just very simple but bright. So I guess it's kind of fun to do. So that is my 25 things that you can do with your toddler to pass the time. And the last thing I have to mention is this book, which is Montessori at Home Guide by A.M. Sterling, and it's 101 Montessori inspired activities for children ages 2 to 6. And they are really simple activities but really great at helping them learn sort of everyday tasks. So one of them is like teeth brushing, and then you've got mortar and pestle. This book is just really handy if you have a stuck moment with a 2-year-old, or I guess a 2 to 6-year-old, and you don't know what to do. You can just get this book out and go, okay, we can do that. And obviously he can't do everything in here yet, and honestly before he was 2 he couldn't really do anything in here, but was starting out with it, but it's a really great resource. I've had it on the shelf for a while and very happy that we have it now. It's recommended to me by a friend of ours, so there you go. I really recommend that. That will be linked down below as well. So I really hope that was a helpful video for you guys. Please let me know other things that I haven't mentioned in the comments down below. I think it would be so helpful for other people to see those comments and just create a great resource for anyone that finds this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and hit that bell button to be notified of new videos, because I make videos all about my life with my toddler, as well as my curly hair, which you can't see today because it's so hot I've had to put it up, and natural beauty as well. So there's a variety of different things, but I really hope that you have a great day and check back soon in a new video. Bye!